You started something that mattered, and now it's falling apart. The momentum is gone. You feel stuck, behind, maybe even embarrassed. This episode is for every artist who's looked at their project halfway through and thought, what happened? Is this still worth it? Can I come back from this? I'm going to talk about how to realign and recover without giving up or burning out. Welcome to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist podcast, where artists of all kinds come to fuel their passion, sharpen their skills, and thrive in their creative lives. I'm your host, Lara Bianca-Pilcher, life and creativity coach and fellow artist, here to support you on your artistic journey. Whether you're a performer, writer, visual artist, or any kind of artist, this is the space for real talk, practical advice, and inspiring stories. Subscribe and join us each week for more inspiration and actionable insights to fuel your artistry. Let's dive in and get inspired. Welcome back to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist podcast, the podcast for dancers, writers, actors, singers, visual artists, and all creatives navigating the real life work of making meaningful art. I'm Laura. I'm a performer and fellow artist. I'm an ICF professional certified coach. I love working with you every week on this podcast. And I'm someone who has definitely had projects go sideways. Absolutely. And many things flop. Things I've had to recover from. And here's the truth. It's normal. It's frustrating. And it's not the end of your creativity. Let's walk through what to do when a creative project doesn't go to plan. So let's start with what sideways looks like in creative work. Sometimes it's obvious, like collaboration falling apart due to a relationship falling out, or a deadline that you missed for whatever reason. Other times it's subtle. You're suddenly unmotivated. You hate what you made. You feel like a crap artist, or you second guess your direction. Should I be doing this? Am I even good enough? Life got in the way, and now the project feels heavy, maybe even doomed in your perspective. And I worked with a dancer who had choreographed most of a new piece, but halfway through, she started feeling like it just wasn't working, and she doubted herself, the concept, everything. But what she didn't need was to scrap it. She needed to pause and realign. So why do creative projects derail? This happens more often than artists admit, and here's why. We don't build in space to our creative practice to adapt. We ignore the middle, that messy, blurry phase. We show our finished product, but so often we don't hear about what it was like for the artist who painted and the messy middle of that before it was fully formed, or the choreography, as we talked about earlier, that just needed more refining, or the monologue that started well but hasn't had feedback and you just think, oh, I'm so crap, and you don't take it to the next level. We tie our identity to the outcome. The song that's great, the lyrics are fantastic, but we don't realize that maybe a different producer could have made that like Avicii level of success. And we tie our identity to the outcome. We make fixing it mean something about us. But the creative process is not a straight line. I'm talking about before the work is shown to the world. It's more like a dance between curiosity, resistance, adjustment, and return. And often, it's funny because I used to teach in a college. I've taught for many years, but when I was teaching acting, I would have those more beginner mindset students sometimes who would learn their lines and do the monologue and go, great, I'm done, after maybe running it once or twice. And I'm like, no, that's the beginning of the creative process. Now we need the feedback. Now we need to add the nuance, the detail, the refining. And that takes weeks sometimes, depending on how many hours you're putting in a day. So that leads me to the question, how to realign and recover without giving up. If something has gone sideways, if you have given up on something, if something didn't work out the way you wanted and you think scrap the whole thing. So here are 4 steps I walk artists through when they hit a creative wall in my education practice through many years of teaching at both college level, conservatory level, and also younger, more beginner students in dance and acting. And as you know, more recently, I have my first book coming out into the world in about a year from me saying this, maybe 10 months. It's in the cover design, endorsement, editorial, wonderful, all of that gorgeous stuff that happens when you get a publishing contract. But here are 4 steps that I walk artists through when they hit that creative wall. Number 1, step back without quitting. That pause doesn't mean abandon. Give it 24 hours, 48 hours, or a week to breathe. Goodness, I've written something I thought was so good. And I'm like, done deal, done and dusted. Came back 2 days, 3 days, sometimes weeks later and thought, oh my goodness, there is definitely space to refine this. Give it space to breathe. Let that project sit there and simmer. Number 2, get honest about what's not working. Name the friction. Is it the vision? Is it the timeline? Is it the pressure? Is it your own inner monologue of self-doubt and those giants we face within? Are you stuck in the pleasing performance of I need to please everyone rather than being able to tune into the frequency of your creative channel within yourself? Number 3, reconnect with your original why. Why did this matter to you in the first place? Whether it's your own project or whether it's something like, classic example in my life is an audition will come in, an acting audition. And before I start it, it's a great practice to go, why do I want to act? What excited me about this? What problem am I solving by doing this with my life? Why do I love storytelling? Why does it matter? So reconnect with your why you want to be an artist and create. And number 4, edit the path, not the project. So sometimes all you need is to simplify the goal, get some more clarity, shift the format, or give yourself more space, because recovery isn't failure. Recovery isn't failure. It's flexibility. That's resilience. Flexibility is resilience. It's wonderful being an artist, but I'm not going to lie, it's not all beer and Skittles. I don't know where I heard that saying, somewhere in Australia. Sometimes it's just really hard, and that resilience is part of the character formation that you need to have a long-term career. So if you need some extra help, consider coaching with me one-on-one. Head to larabiancapilcher.com. And if that's not for you in this season, and this episode's speaking to you where you are, and you're feeling lost in the middle of creative mess, go to the same website, larabiancapilcher.com. You can head to the freebies page or just the homepage and get my free guide, Stuck in a Creative Rut. It gives you 3 simple steps to reconnect with your creative momentum and get back on track. You'll need to get quiet and still and reflect, but that is powerful, my friends. So, Creative Spark, your challenge for the week. Take a current or past creative project that's stalled or spiraled, and instead of judging it, ask one powerful question. What needs to change? Not in me, but in the approach. This one question can move you from shame to strategy. Again, what needs to change? Not in me, but in the approach that I'm taking. All right, I'm going to just quickly recap the 4 things to work on this week before that challenge. Step back without quitting. Get honest about what's not working. Reconnect with your original why. And edit the path, not the project. Then give it a try. Ask yourself what needs to change, not in me, but in the approach. All right. The artists who last aren't the ones who never mess up, because recovery isn't a setback. It's actually an artistic skill. The artists who last, like I said, they're not the ones who never mess up. They're the ones who know how to realign and keep going. That's why I'm still an artist after so many years, because I can go through the difficulty, realign and heal, sometimes deeply need to heal, and then move forward. So if you want to read the show notes, head to larabiancapilcher.com/blog. And next week, I'm going to talk about self-care for artists, taking care of you and your art. And it's not going to be the frilly, fluffy talk about self-care. We're going to go deep into what is scientifically proven to help you take care of yourself as an artist. As always, friends, I'm with you on the journey. Share this episode with a fellow artist. I would love that if you took the time to do that, or whatever platform you're on, scroll down to the homepage of that podcast platform and hit 5 stars. And I would just so appreciate that support to continue to be able to reach more creatives. With you on the journey, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss an inspiring conversation or actionable insight. You can read the show notes and learn more at larabiancapilcher.com. And be sure to share this episode with fellow artists who could use a little extra inspiration. Until next time, keep creating, stay audacious, and remember, your artistry matters.